Good evening and welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum, lucky episode 13. We are rejoining our past selves at a cliffhanger, but before we get to that, let's all introduce ourselves. We'll start camera left with Azalwin.
Hello, I am Azalwin. I am playing Yarrow, which is a Arcanist satyr who sometimes goes a little mad, then she's a little reckless here and there, but generally she has the best in mind. But we'll see what she gets into tonight.
Thank you. And Lilith?
I go by Lilith as my screen name. I'm playing Seth, a Nerid shapeshifter, so a very sneaky shapeshifting fish person.
Morningstar?
Hey, darlings. I'm the magnificent Morningstar, and I am playing Elise, a Median Psyche who, well, she likes to keep things very, very neat and orderly and a little bit violent.
Alright, let's bring it back around from the other side. Josh?
Hey, hello. Josh. I play Jason. He's a Median animist who at this point is in a situation.
Yep.
That's about it.
Alright, and Anya?
My name is Anya. I play Hollis, a Gob Baba, who is very curious and not afraid to be an ankle biter.
I'm Gavin, the GM for Children of Midnight. Anya and I are the co-authors of the game Children of Midnight, which you can pick up and play along with us at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. We just got some amazing new grimoire sheets, character sheets, for you to use, and they look absolutely gorgeous. I put mine a little out of arm's reach, so I'll get it on break. But to jump right in, where we left off, TJ, which is Jason's familiar, had gotten its nose right up in the business of the corpse sitting in Tina's chair inside the security office in the Museum of Modern Artifacts. That's a mouthful. But currently, it's only Elise and Jason that have made it there, and they sent out a telepathic SOS to the rest of the group who were staking out the Central Park Zoo. So we can pick up right there as this corpse has sputtered yellow, slimy, viscous liquid onto TJ's back, and then black smoke rose from its head as it collapsed onto him.
Valid.
Amazingly, the liquid isn't caustic, so it just sort of oozes and drips down TJ's back, and the corpse falls completely out of the chair and is revealed to not be Tina, but it is a security guard wearing a security guard's uniform.
A different one from her boyfriend.
Indeed.
Well, he's in prison for murder now.
He might very well be. I don't know if you guys ever fully looked into him, but yeah. He's definitely having an ongoing battle with the legal system.
Really hinders you from doing your job.
Yeah. So, how would the other three of you like to get back to the Museum of Modern Artifacts?
Well, we got to the zoo by the subway, right? Do we just want to take the subway back?
Kind of assume that would be the fastest way.
All right. Well, who wants to do a little fortune roll and just see how that goes? See if we need to stop and interject anything, or if the ride goes smoothly. That would be exclamation point 2F.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
bad result.
Okay. Okay. So when you go to get back down into the subway, you see that there is an ongoing investigation, and there are there are Ever-Vigilant Eye members all over that subway station that you came down.
I wonder why.
Elise, you screwed up the tracks for us.
Wasn't my fault. He jumped in front of a train.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I was asleep the entire time. I can't be held responsible.
It is kind of the perfect alibi when you think about it. Yep. So alternate, or do you want to try to sneak through and hop on one of those trains? Or subway cars?
So
We
the
could try to
station's
get
not
it back,
shut
yeah.
down, there's just people there?
Yeah, it's not shut down, but they're orchestrating an investigation from this subway stop.
Should we just try the next stop?
Yeah, we can try that.
Might be a good idea.
All right. Normally I would say study a subway map or something, but you're all natives, so okay. That gives the rest of you, the other two of you, about 15 minutes that you're waiting for them to come, and you have time to ransack Tina's office or anything else you'd like to do.
So the corpse isn't animated at all.
It is not. As soon as it fell out of the chair, it stopped moving.
It was just a jump scare.
It is still oozing yellow liquid, though.
Grotesque. Well, we should probably study that yellow liquid. Figure out as much as we can about it.
All right. Let's see. I would say that's controlled and standard effect. Let's call it lesser effect, but I will give you the freebie that you have seen this viscous yellow liquid before.
Thought it seemed familiar. So I will slip off my glove, because there is no way that I am ruining a fine silk glove. I can at least wash my hands. And since I know that it's not caustic, at least not to dogs, I'll swipe up a little bit with my finger and inspect it.
All right.
Just picturing Elise like rub it on her teeth like cocaine.
No, darling, that is more cocaine. Speaking of, I know what asset I want to try on the next downtime.
Oh no.
It's a critical success.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So what do you want to know?
Well, I would like to know anything I can about it, really. But the rumor is if it's I suppose there's only so much I can actually discover from looking at it.
Right.
Investigating it. So potentially temperature.
Okay.
Determine how long it's been here.
Yeah. It is room temperature, so it wasn't warmed by a warm body or anything.
Right.
I would say since you rolled a critical success, you're probably able to surmise something that you normally wouldn't be able to get just by, feeling it and smelling it. And you can tell that it has added to the body weight of the individual. It's not coming from any biological processes. It's like it's coming into this world from somewhere else.
Oh,
Definitely magical in origin. Possibly otherworldly.
Certainly
Wasn't all-
disgusting.
all of the ooze and stuff that happened with Roger's people, was that yellow?
It was
was.
yellow.
They were trying to bring something into the world. Their guy.
Freddy Fazbear.
No, no.
Malachor.
Less dangerous than Freddy Fazbear.
Yep. So yeah, big study roll like that. That probably took you a few minutes. So, one more action before the rest of them join you, or just wait it out.
Can I roll to check, like... I mean, it's not moving, so it's dead, but can I roll to, like, observe the surroundings as she's observing, as this is observing the body?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah. What's the goal? What do you want to find?
Study. Just, like, I guess, looking around and just gathering information, signs of a break-in, or, like, anything that would be...
Gotcha.
I would lead you to be tame.
Okay.
I think that it was tame.
Gotcha. What do you want to use for that?
We'll use study.
That makes sense. I'm gonna say controlled standard effect.
I got a complete success.
Okay.
Everything's coming up Team
very
B.
astute.
Everything's coming up Median.
It definitely doesn't seem like there was any forced entry or anything like that here. Whoever came in through whatever doors they came in through, they're all still fully functional. You're not seeing any scratch marks or anything like that. It just looks like business as usual, aside from the corpse in Tina's chair. All right. And the other three of you find yourselves outside of the subway, coming up toward the Museum of Modern Artifacts, and you know about the same back door that Elise knows about. Anything you want to do before you head inside?
Am I able to use my newfound clairvoyance to just pinpoint exactly where they are and we can just head directly to them?
Yeah, I think between all of you and with telepathy, you wouldn't have any difficulty doing that without clairvoyance. But if you'd like, you can use clairvoyance to sort of mentally go just about anywhere.
Well, I think maybe we should at least scout the area a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So group up first and then make a
Yeah.
decision? Okay. All right. You all find your way, work your way through that back hallway without any interruptions. You do notice that there are a couple other hallways, back hallways, not they're not decorated or anything, that lead to other places, but you know which one to follow. And you find your way to the secret door that leads into the back of her office, and you find Elise and Jason inside.
I'm drinking whatever alcohol I found.
She did have a pretty good, I think it was bourbon.
So at this point, do we know
I'll make a
everything Elise
Manhattan.
knows?
What was that, Azaelman?
Do we know everything Elise knows about the substance at this point?
That's up to Elise, but I would assume so.
Yes. I do like to keep my secrets, but I see no sense in keeping this one.
Do any of you, the rest of you, want to share what happened before to make sure everybody's sort of on the same page?
I mean, obviously, all I can say to them is just, that there was no visible sign of break-in. So my hypothesis was that whoever did this must have been someone who could either teleport into a room using magic, or someone that the person knew.
Yeah. How about any of the rest of you who have had run-ins with Roger and his coven?
I would assume that entry was not an issue whatsoever, given that other dealings we've had with this yellowish substance, I assume the individuals in question have been able to turn themselves into clouds. Or smoke monsters, whatever the hell you want to call them. So, I imagine it wouldn't be too difficult for one of them to slip under a door.
Yeah. Can I
Hello.
use Underworld Oracle? And it makes me aware when I'm being watched from the underworld, and I
Mhm.
also get to take an extra die when I speak with the dead.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And maybe I could just talk to this corpse and see what happened.
Yeah.
Why it's leaking.
Yeah, absolutely. You can choose what you want to roll for that gather info. But I'm going to say that it's controlled and at least standard effect.
Okay. I figure I will use focus because that's generally what I use when I
Sure.
speak with dead. And with the Underworld Oracle, I get to take an extra die, so that's awesome. So I have 4 dice for that. We're
Wow.
rolling in Tuesday's stream, right?
Yes.
I got a complete success.
Okay. All
So we're getting
right.
all of our sixes early on.
Mhm.
Not a good sign.
So, yeah. What does that look like? You dealing with the slime coming out of this thing and talking to it?
I kind of assume it's all underworld magic kind of stuff since it's looks like the stuff from Roger's Coven. So I'm gonna go ahead and since she likes to get her Hollis likes to get her hands dirty, especially in dead stuff, I'm gonna get in there and how I normally would put my hands on the ground and do
Mhm.
that. I put my hands into the yellow gunk and onto this body and chant while I'm trying to focus on getting as much information from the soul of the person and if there's any extra spiritual activity going on inside of the body as well.
Okay. Yeah, so is that what you want to know first?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're having a bit of a sort of two spirits moment there where you're almost contacting two things at once. One is just rejecting you outright. Just the sense just doesn't seem to work on it, but it's definitely
Okay.
there. But the other one, it seems very willing to communicate.
Who is the one that wants to communicate?
So he tells you that his name is Jefferson and that he was in the that they've beefed up security since the last time you were here, and he was in one of the central chambers when he heard shouting come from another room, and when he turned around all he saw was thick black mist uh, that obscured his eyes, and before he knew it he was dead.
Okay. Is he aware of the other presence?
Oh, that took over his body?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he could sense it leading up to his death. He could feel his body starting to bloat.
Okay.
Anything else?
Deeply off-putting.
Is this the same kind of resonance or uh energy that we were getting from Roger's Coven? Like, are we completely off base with that, or is that what this is?
Yeah, I think from your grimoire sense, we can just count that amongst this. Absolutely, it's definitely at least extremely similar, if not exactly the same.
Okay. Okay. Is this other presence trying to escape the body, or is it happy to stay there?
It's kind of it seems like it's trying to get out, but it could just be because it doesn't have a host.
Okay.
You all hear some footsteps coming from the secret door that leads into her office. So the hallway that the three of you just came down.
Now we all
We
put
hide,
lampshades
we
on our
set
heads
up
and
the
stand in the
fire.
corner.
Yeah.
And you can hear some radio chatter too.
That's
Sounds like.
Buzz.
And you see in the corner of the room some of the walkie-talkies that are on chargers start lighting up as someone is communicating through them.
Can I like the radio up or something and like just leave it on silent and hear what they're saying?
Do what to the radio?
Like pick up what they're saying. Is it like a two-way radio situation? Just
Yeah.
gonna leave it on play and just not in. Are they like saying anything of importance?
Sure. Yeah, you can walk over and turn on one of the walkie-talkies that's on the charging station. And yeah, you can hear people checking in that Sector X is clear, Sector Y is clear, things like that. And you can hear that same chatter coming from the area that's leading to the secret door. And it sounds like it's getting closer.
So do we
Okay.
want them to know we're here or not?
I mean, the corpse oozing yellow frozen Gatorade is not a good look for our coven.
No, not terribly. We have some options there. Maybe we could keep them from even stopping in here.
Got any plans to stop them from coming in here? No.
Do you think between Seth and Hollis a convincing enough impersonation could be devised?
I mean, we could do that, but isn't the door secret as well? We do have lock-picking sets. We could just lock the door from the inside.
True, but I mean, I feel like they're gonna try and breach and clear.
Yeah. If this is a security guard, they probably know the back entrance to Tina's office.
Well, since I'm a carbon copy of Tina, essentially, am I being Tina? Am I trying to be this Jefferson guy?
Yeah.
I don't know if we don't know if they know he's dead or not.
Not touching him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Assume they would know rather than leave the rotting corpse in a room.
Yeah, according to Hollis's Speak to the Dead, he was definitely dead.
Definitely dead.
Do you want to impersonate Tina and see what information you can get out of the guard?
Yeah, we could do that. Or I could be. What do you guys want to do? Because I could charge out into the hall and be Tina and try to get some answers, or we could wait for them to
Jesus of
come to
Nazareth.
us.
Come out as Jesus' dad. I've been here.
Do we want them
in a
to
secret-
organically discover the body?
We could just
I don't
back
think
out
it's-
the room
True, but
and let them find the body.
That is.
But I mean,
We're never
we're
gonna-
talking to multiple people, so the chances of us bumping into other teams is probable. And how do we explain that?
Well, maybe we just leave the body for them to find and go somewhere deeper.
Deeper.
Deeper would be better anyhow. There has to be something worth taking around here.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
There at
And
least has
since
to be more.
Tina
than-
has failed to tell me what to take, I'm sure we'll have to just figure it out on our own.
Or, you could put it another way. She didn't tell you what not to take. Either way, I'm gonna try and keep the walkie-talkie, so at least we get like a sense of where they are going.
Okay. I think
Going to
that
keep
might.
the bourbon.
I think to take the walkie-talkie and for us to make sure that it's going to work for you, that would
Does the
probably
dog hold it?
require some kind of roll.
Just have one of the children hold the button while talking.
We're gonna get the
Which is
children
wrong.
back in here.
Are they with you?
Well, we didn't go home after all that, so
No. No,
We
they're
left
probably
them in
Leave
the
them
dark
at the zoo.
alley.
They could have stayed with a contact until
No.
you get to a safe place.
They could. No, because we probably sent them back. Because I don't think we sent them with their moms. So
You know what?
Only
We have
one.
didn't think we'd
we
have
have
to
the
figure out
arcane
babysitting
library
in this
now.
movie.
So
Yeah.
like we rung up Quinn and like, hey, come pick up our kids from the zoo.
Yeah, you can go hang out in our arcane library until we get back, but you have to watch the kids. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll roll for how well that goes in private.
sure.
Okay, so I think let's see. So, yep, the you can hear the security guards working on getting in through the secret entrance now.
Alright, so what's the plan, guys? We going down? We going up?
Well, we could do both. Like, I mean, you guys can get out of here. I can look like Tina, so I've got a little bit of a safety buffer, but you guys are pretty conspicuous looking.
What happens?
Me.
I assume you're saying look like Tina and come with us, because I don't think it will go well with Tina being found in a room with a rotting corpse either.
I thought I was just gonna meet them in the hall.
Yeah, you could.
You could do that. Stop them.
Do we want to roll maybe a focus to see if you're able to get the radio to work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check. What do I have in focus?
At least one.
At least one.
Everybody gets one.
At least one.
That's gonna be, I'm gonna say risky because it has batteries.
So if I roll this, then I get experience.
Yeah, if you roll a 1, yeah, you get experience.
Roll a 2.
So you pick it up and put it to your ear and check it and make sure it's working. It sort of attenuates a little bit when it gets close to you, but not too bad. And you sort of go to attach it to your belt or something like that, and you don't feel it starting to heat up, and then the battery starts leaking down your pants leg. So
there goes my Splinter Cell plan. I just throw the fucking walkie-talkie.
My goodness, it's yellow ooze. That's what it was.
It was battery acid this whole time.
This is a thinner and greener ooze. So I'm gonna say that Powerade. It's not Gatorade, which should be thicker. So I'm thinking that's gonna be level 1 harm, acid burn leg. You can resist that if you'd like.
I'm gonna take it. It just shows you don't try to be so hard. So level 1 acid burn.
All right. And the impersonation doesn't require a roll because we know you can already perfectly impersonate Tina. So yeah, what do you want to get out of or get across to the guard who's coming to check on the back door?
I guess I can just try to verify with them and blend in, just be like, what sectors are clear?
Mm-hmm.
What's remaining? get that kind of information, because if they've checked certain areas, we know they're probably not going to double back, and that would be a safer route for us.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you can open up that door, and do you want to describe what that looks like when you come out? He's just a normal security guard.
Yeah, Seth will pop out all kind of flustered, and don't really know dialogue-wise what they would say,
Mhm.
but more so just like, is it under control? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the status?
Yeah. So he tells you that only 3 personnel have checked in out of the 8 that are supposed to be here. That checked in on duty. So at least 5 have gone radio silent. Seems like the whole central area of the museum has sort of blacked out as far as radio communications go.
Is that good?
And he tells you he's willing to walk with you, and he can be your ears for the rest of the security guards if you want him to be, because he knows you can't easily use the radios.
Okay.
We're still telepathically connected, yes?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're still telepathically connected, so maybe I can go and try to use him to meet up with these other ones to see what's going on with them while you guys peruse the rest of the building.
Yeah, do you want to like arrange a meetup point?
But we could
Like
theoretically do
with
that at any
the
time.
coven or with the security guards?
Oh, that's up to you. I was thinking you meant with the security guards.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Just try to
Okay.
regroup with all the guards together. So
Sure.
you said the central area's down, so
Mhm.
maybe like the front reception.
Yeah. So the old security office, the one that they shut down after the incident,
The incident.
is would be a great place to regroup. It has
Excuse me.
access to all the cameras.
Okay. Yeah,
But-
I could do potential sabotage while I'm there, potentially.
Okay.
I like
All
that
right.
idea.
Yeah, he can meet up with you in X number of minutes whenever you want them to. That way you get some time to do whatever with the rest of the group. And all right.
Okay.
He helps you get your secret door shut and heads off.
That went smoothly.
All right, so I figure we need to figure out what's going on here a little bit more, and maybe like what else could be out there. So, can I try clairvoyance and just see if there's anything of interest in our area that we need to be heading to at this moment?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
And let's see, is that just 1 essence for the power, and then I'll roll gather information?
Sounds good.
Okay. And ooh, if I can pop up my chat here. Okay. So I got a standard and a 4, so good details.
Okay. So, yeah, you. How do you want to do your clairvoyance? Do you want to sort of just your spirit goes rushing out through your eyeballs, and
Yeah, I figure I kind of lean against the wall so I can rest. And then my horns glow as I kind of flow out them, and then it looks like arms at first, and then the rest of me, it's kind of like a spirit a little bit, so I can see and hear but not touch or anything like that. And
Yeah.
I'm able to just kind of go through and see just what's ahead of us, and
Yeah.
if there's anything of just importance or danger.
Yeah. So you're able to pass through walls, and your spirit comes out of your body visible, but then it quickly becomes invisible. So you don't have to worry about anybody spotting you or anything. Yeah, you end up going through several walls into a whole bunch of areas where there's just nobody around. There are museum displays set up, all over the place, but you're just not seeing a single soul. And you head toward that sort of central area that they mentioned where there's no radioactivity. And when you come into the largest room, the largest chamber is this big circular chamber. About 5 feet in from the wall is this ring of black smoke that almost encompasses the entire room. And you can see there's ash all over the floor, and that ash is preventing your spirit from being able to see any further in. However, you do find a body that is laying half in the ash. So you can see what looks like a completely unharmed security guard who's laying unconscious on the floor with his legs inside of the ash circle.
Now the question is, while I'm in doing the clairvoyance, am I able to use my grimoire powers as well?
Yeah.
So am I able to use my greater telekinesis to pull him out of the ash?
So you can use your grimoire sense, but not your powers. No,
Not
sorry.
my powers. Okay. I don't think that would be of much use because we think we can pretty much tell what the resonance of this is and what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I figure I'll just come back to myself, and then since we are all telepathically bonded, I assume that everybody else knows what's going on as well, and then we can maybe plan what we're gonna do here.
Great. Just as you're about to whisk your soul back to your body, you see the face of the security guard turn up from the floor and almost look directly at you. And as you see a black claw reach out from inside the smoke area, grab him by the back pocket, and pull him into the circle as he screams and holds his hands up toward you. But probably just random chance that he did that in your direction, because there's no way he could have seen you. No.
No way he could have sensed me being so close. Or nothing like that.
Maybe at that precipice of death, maybe his consciousness expanded and he could see you there, but...
So the question is, does the entity know that I am there then? Does the entity know what the corpse, I guess, at the end knew?
So unless you want to do some more poking around, I think that's all you're going to get for now.
I think at this point we need to formulate what we're going to do with this information, because it seems to have another body under its control, because I'm going to assume we can't stop that.
Yeah.
Honestly, darling, I think that's probably the least of our concerns, is the corpses it's dragged in there. If this is what we've dealt with in the past, it's the incorporeal that's going to be more problematic than the corporeal.
Yeah.
Problematic / exciting.
So I'm wondering if there is an artifact in the building that could trap and contain this smoke. Or whatever this smoke is trying to bring into the world.
True.
I'm trying to think of how you might go about finding something like that.
Like a puzzle box.
Hellraiser.
If I go back to the security room with the guards, would there be like a... I guess there would be like a floor plan based on what artifacts are there?
Yeah, you all have a relatively good idea of the floor plan, but as far as the specific artifact, there's probably some paperwork in the security office that might detail what should be where and any, serial numbers and things like that should be on any items.
Okay. Then I guess I'd like to start making my way over there and regroup with them.
Anybody else heading that way? Any familiars tagging along?
Well, I think Jean is still gathering and is still on recon.
Jean's still looking at sexy satyr.
Yeah.
Taking plenty of mental images.
I think now might be a good time for us to come up with the undertaking type and the plan. That way you guys can all regain some much needed willpower and essence after this. So if you want to bring up...
Don't speak that into the universe, you know.
You can pick a plan. So let's see. Our favorite undertakings are locate artifact, destroy, and arson.
Well, if we can locate an artifact to destroy the smoke, I feel like that's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we want to jump ahead and let Seth do this sort of extended gather information, you might have all the info you need to get out there and do what it is you intend. Unless anybody has another idea for a plan.
I have none, personally.
We could find a very large construction fan and blow the smoke away, but other than
Where
that,
does it go?
Lost.
I have 3 votes for arson, but they're all from comp. So
There's too much good stuff in here to burn it down.
that's true.
Yes.
True.
We need to take
to be
everything before we let it.
It'll be rebuilt as NFTs.
But maybe if
Controlled
the
burn.
gas is flammable, I could just light it and it would just poof really fast.
Like controlled flame?
Yeah, just one big...
I don't think lighting gas usually results in a controlled flame.
If it's in a lighter, it does.
That's true. But that's tiny.
All right,
Seth
Seth.
ends up near the black smoke again. They might just do what happened with at the coven with Roger and just breathe in the dark smoke again.
Yep. Yeah, this is definitely potential for possession here again.
Really?
Oh,
Don't
My
get too
favorite thing.
excited.
I'm going to end up battling with one of them in someone's mind again, I can just tell.
Oh. Some X-Men level stuff.
All right, Seth, as far as getting over there, I'm going to say go ahead and do a 2 dice fortune roll again.
Okay.
Let's just see if you have any run-ins on your way over there. But I think
Triple wearing Tina's heels.
Right. I think in your current form, you should be okay.
Good result. Standard
Okay.
full effect or 3 ticks out of 6.
Oh, awesome. Great. Okay. Yeah, you make it all the way over to the security office right in time that all the other guards have made their way, and another guard is missing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think we know what happened to him.
They do another check-in, and yeah, another
Maybe
guard.
we should
gone.
mention to them that they shouldn't go into the middle of the building. Just stay away from the center area, please.
Should they not?
Please.
They might make good fodder to distract them.
So there's
Whatever
only
could actually hurt us.
only 2 guards remaining. And they're
Okay.
both with you, Seth. So the old security office is barred. It's not just locked, it's been barred completely up. But
Seems like an overreaction.
I don't even think we broke in there, did we?
Just a
Maybe
little
slightly.
bit.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you did with lockpicks.
Well, I do have arcane supremacy. Would I be able to clear that somehow?
Yeah, if you were over there, if you made your way over there, that spell should work perfectly. But it's more physically barred rather than locked. It needs to be. It needs a little destruction to get in. But the two guards, they meet up with you, and they're excited to see you and glad that you've made it. They thought that you might have gone the way that the other security guards did.
So we still don't know where real Tina is.
No.
Oops.
Yeah, they hadn't seen or heard from you in about an hour and a half.
Okay.
I think, to be
Yes.
honest, at this point, they probably just want to leave.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like I don't think there can be that much useful, like proof of much use other than just bodies at this point. So I
Yeah.
think Tina's just gonna send them home.
True.
Okay.
I will.
Perfect. A security guard, as soon as it is necessary for security, get sent home.
Yeah. I think that might be a
Tina's
little.
going to call in the further authorities, and the security guards can go home. They've dealt with enough.
Okay. I think that might be just enough out of Tina's character, maybe to make a roll of some kind.
Okay.
What do you want to use for that?
Let me see what I got. Maybe a sway.
Oh, that sounds good. So I would put that at controlled standard effect.
Okay. I will. I only have one in sway, and I want this to work. Oh no, I'll see how it goes with just the one.
Okay.
Oh, failure out of 3.
Okay.
Should have done the one.
So, yeah, I think in controlled there are a lot of options you have. You can withdraw and try a different approach. You try them out and you see it's just not working. They don't seem like they're going to go for it. Or you could push on risky. So, hey guys, like really bring it up a level. Or you could do it with a consequence. You can figure out what that is.
Consequence might be interesting.
Yeah.
That is out of there just because of the scenario, and if it is out of, she doesn't have anything to do with security, so it is out of character for her.
Yeah. So I think one of them just thinks that it's odd enough that they're going to say something. Something like Tina seemed odd that day, the last time we saw her. Something was up, and it might end up leading back to you all. So +1 fate for the coven.
Okay.
And then I am going to roll a 0-die fortune roll. See if they make it out of here alive. Well, and that's not how you do that.
They don't make it out alive, the consequence won't amount much.
Alright. They are quite low tier, so without assistance, they are easy pickings. So I'm going to say one of them makes it out alive, the other one you'll probably find at a later point. Alright. Do you all want to regroup in front of the old security office now that the other security guards are out of the way? No longer an issue?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Seems logical.
Alright. Well, that gives Yarrow a chance to use Arcane Supremacy if you want to help get that door down.
Yeah, I think since I don't have much in brute force myself, that might work best anyway. So
I have dire form, which means I can perform a feat of physical force, so I could potentially help if you can't get it all the way off.
Okay. I think I can choose. I can choose like the amount of essence, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should just go kind of like middle of the road with 2 to clear this out.
Okay.
So because it
will you
does.
read the description of arcane supremacy?
Let's see. I have lock, unlock, or hold open a non-magical door, box, or portal.
Okay. So yeah, unlock.
So I figure if that would that unlock and clear it, since I also have greater telekinesis.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
With let's see, I do have
Yeah,
one in
let's
focus.
see.
So.
You could do that as a group action if you want to both use like focus. So you'd be effectively casting 2 different spells, but achieving the same purpose. So normally you can't mix and match like that, but I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
especially if Seth is helping. So.
yeah. So what form do you want to go into for dire form?
It's the return of Super Tina, I guess.
Mm,
She's gonna grow
giant
out her
woman.
press-ons and she's gonna like get a hold on the door.
Nice.
Yara was super excited because she's only heard tales of Super Tina.
Meanwhile, Jason, who's Super
Jumping
Tina?
up and down. Super Tina.
Super Tina's gonna awaken things.
We've all seen Steven Universe. We've all been awakened.
I have only seen 1 episode of Steven. Shit's live. I've seen 2, and they were like the season 1 finale.
All right. So focus for both of you.
Yes. So
Who wants to lead?
I have 6 willpower remaining. How much do you have?
I have plenty. So can we just? I also have no, it's just for essence. Never mind. So I do have plenty of willpower. Can I push that?
Yeah. You can spend 2 essence to get, you can spend 2 willpower to get either +1 die or increased effect.
Yeah, I only have 1 in focus, so I figure an extra 1 can't hurt. And then that's just an action roll, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, mine was a
Ooh.
failure. I have a 3.
I'm a partial success.
Okay. All right.
4.
Super Tina's fake nails I'll rip off.
Yeah, do you want to take the consequence since you rolled lower?
Yeah.
I guess that makes
I
sense.
think that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. I like something like that, like maybe
Maybe I
sprained wrist.
mangle my fingers a little bit, or
Yeah.
put that as like a level 1 harm or something.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Mangled fingers. My fish sticks.
And then
You're going to have to
Yara
get you
will
some
just-
finger gauntlets, darling. Seem prone to mangling your digits.
and then Yarrow just spend 1 more to unlock the door. You don't have to make a roll for that.
Yeah, I took the essence off for
Okay.
it. Yes, there we
Awesome.
go. Yay.
Yep, you just how do you do that? What does that look like when you
I figure it's kind of like how a safe worker hits it, and I just kind of like tap it with my hoof, and like the resonance on like
Ooh.
jiggles the lock unlocked because
Nice.
I can hear really well with my wonderful satyr ears.
All right, the double doors come swinging open, and you can see into the dark room ahead of you. the emergency lights are on in there, so there's some red light streaming down. And yeah, you can hear the whirring of computers and other machines in here that are probably still silently recording everything that's happening out there.
So are we able to use those to scout and see what's going on, right?
Probably not.
Yeah. It's all based on how you roll, so, and what you want to do fictionally. You sent away the other security guards that could have done this completely safely, so.
I'm messing with my lights over here.
Huh.
Doesn't show up. I have like red lights, but it doesn't show up. Shoot.
Nice.
So much for the gag.
I'd change mine,
Wait.
but I'd be getting everybody's Google Home stuff, so.
There we go. Mine works.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's nice.
Not very flattering lighting, though, I must say.
So can I attempt to like attempt to see what's going on, attempt to use the technology?
Mm-hmm.
Would
Yeah,
that be fortune?
you could also do it as some kind of a group action that'll increase your chances of success. So completely up to you guys.
I
And-
do have a couple points in finesse, so I could finesse it.
What would one do for an action roll for interacting with technology like that?
Yeah, there's not really a good role for it. I think there's definitely an argument to make for finesse, definitely an argument for study. If you're sitting back and watching security cameras, you could say survey. And of course, focus is a good catch-all because it sort of shows that you're reining in your magic to try to give
Mhm.
yourself the best chance of not causing any electronics to explode.
I think that would work for Yarrow anyway, because she's used to like trying to stay hidden as it is for like before she met everybody and joined in on the shenanigans. So
Mm-hmm.
so I think holding everything in would work for her a little better, even though I only have 1 point in focus.
Right.
But honestly, mainly we're looking to survey because I just want to know what's going on right now, especially
Yeah.
in the area that all the
Yeah.
entity was happening.
If it weren't for the fact that you have to get it all turned on, then I would say survey as a group action all the way. But you do need to activate a lot of the equipment first, so I think it is going to require fictionally something else. Although we could go survey, and I could just reduce the effect down to lesser effect. And
Wager, if we're doing a group action, that more of us are going to be capable of focusing than
mhm.
surveying.
Yep. And it's
Even
more
if
people.
perhaps a bit less so individually.
Yep. And more people to share the if there are complications, you get to share them. Which can mean 5 times the complications sometimes.
Oh, we did get some good rolls in the beginning of this, so
Mhm.
Yes, which means that there aren't many left.
well, I guess it depends on how bad we need to know something now and if this is the best way to gather that information.
Yeah, the last time you were all here, the cameras were a fantastic resource. They're everywhere. Multiple angles on pretty much anything you can think of, so it's kind of like that room in the Matrix, like it's a wall of monitors.
Okay.
So,
I want
like
to know if there's like
32
an inventory of what's here, so we could possibly get
yeah.
an idea of what could
Good
trap
point.
this smoke monster.
Yeah. So if somebody wants
Something.
to activate everything, that could make a big group survey real easy for everybody to go looking for all the individual things you want.
Why don't I do that? Because I think I have the highest focus. And
Okay.
I'll just focus, turn everything on, and then you guys can play with it once it's on.
Let's
If I don't blow it all up.
Does that work?
I'll
Worth a
go-
try.
If I
You have to
spend
hold
2
Hollis up,
willpower, I
though,
can
so she
still
can reach
go
up
up a die,
buttons.
right?
Yeah, you can spend 2 willpower to increase by a die, or increase your effect level, and you can also get assistance from somebody for 1 willpower. Or you can get assistance from someone for a willpower.
Can I spend willpower and get a Fey bargain? And
No.
get a die and increase it?
I think so. Yeah, you can mix and match those.
Okay, well, I'll spend
You
the
just can't
willpower
get 2
and get
dice.
an extra die, and then I'll take a Fey bargain to increase the effect.
All right, let me get out the Fey bargains. All right.
Never a time for bargaining with the Fays when smoke monsters get involved.
Exactly. Ooh, I'm
Terry when the
almost
Fae
to
can't do
2K
anything.
contract.
Nice. Let's go with Let's go with collateral damage. Your presence there and you messing with it's not going to affect the devices that you want to work, but it's going to affect some of the other devices. So let's
Did we
say
accidentally turn the sprinklers on?
yeah.
That might be good.
Not like a bad thing.
I mean, Seth will appreciate if the sprinklers are on.
Yeah.
Reminds me of home.
I got a complete success.
Okay. All right. The wall of monitors turns on completely, and when it gets to the end of the line, you see all 32 monitors in a row are on, and each one is showing 4 different cameras. And then when it gets to the end of the line, you see an arc of current fly from the last computer bank over to an alarm system, and it fries the alarm console, and just outside the door you hear the sprinklers come on, and you can see flashing lights from all the emergency exit signs are now strobing some bright white emergency lights.
Oh, it's a
So the
rave.
fire department might come.
Yep.
Yeah, at least they're prepared to handle smoke.
I don't think they're prepared for this kind of smoke.
They don't want the smoke.
You do notice that on a lot of the cameras, especially in that central area, there is no water. It looks like these are on a different circuit.
Okay.
Another thing you also notice instantly is the fact that the black smoke that Yarrow saw earlier is not actually there. It was being obscured because of the ash, because ash obscures clairvoyance, but you can actually see what's in there now. And it is 3 sarcophagi at the center of that display.
Who mess with the
Mummies.
mummies?
Each have their lids slightly ajar.
Oh no.
And we will take a quick break on that news. We'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum, episode 13. We are deep in the bowels of the Museum of Modern Artifacts at the old abandoned security office, where the Coven has just reactivated, thanks to Hollis's awesome technology skills, reactivated all of the cameras in the building, and they found that the ash circle that's surrounding, or that's in the central chamber, was surrounding 3 partially open sarcophagi. So, do we want to come up with the undertaking now, or do a little bit more information gathering?
It'd be good if we could discover some artifacts, potentially.
Oh, right. There are also the file cabinets in here that should have some of the data about what items are in the museum currently.
Well, nice of them to keep analog records.
Yeah, it's very. I suppose that's Bettina's.
Indeed. So, do you want to split into groups to watch the cameras for information and check the analog stuff for information, or just do it all as one big group survey?
Well, I'm highly interested in looking through these files as well, just to see if there's maybe anything else that's interesting
Sure.
while we're looking for something to contain this thing that I don't know the most about, but everybody else does.
Yeah, they've had 2 run-ins? Yeah, 2 run-ins with them in the past.
We still don't know much.
Nope.
So, file cabinets, I guess.
Yes.
In
But-
them. We can.
I would say those of us who are better at detail work.
Woohoo! Thank you for all the subscriptions. And the gifted subscription.
Oh my goodness.
So kind of you. I can't wait to hear those notification sounds later. We were hoping they would play.
Thank you ever so.
Right. Alright, so we need leaders. Who wants to step up and handle and lead those actions?
I have 3 in study, so I'm good leading the combing through the filing cabinets.
Okay.
I'll stay on the cameras.
I would probably be better at the cabinets, but since Yaro wants to have a look at them, I will help with the cameras.
Okay. How about Jason?
And what can I work with? Because I get somebody looking for the file.
Yeah, they're both group actions, so you can join either one, or
I guess I'll join.
You could be a lookout, or yeah.
I'll do a lookout thing. So,
Okay.
Since each one of us something to do, so I guess I'll survey.
Okay. Great. Why don't you go ahead and roll yours first? We're going to call that controlled, since you guys have access to all those cameras. Controlled and increased effect. So greater effect.
I suck. A failure too.
Okay. I'm going to say that means that something is creeping up and has evaded your notice, but it hasn't quite made it to you yet. So
Maybe the sprinklers are obscuring your vision.
I'm going to
Flashing
fill in.
lights as well.
Oh, I forgot about the flashing lights.
We're going to make that a 4 o'clock called Mysterious Entity Appears, and it's going to have 2 of its 4 ticks filled in. Unless you want to resist that.
Cost willpower?
Costs a random number of willpower to resist.
I'll resist it.
Okay. So I think it would make sense for it to be an insight resist. So you roll your exclamation point, your insight attribute, and then the letter R. And that'll tell you how much willpower.
Spend 1 willpower.
Okay. So I'm gonna say we'll remove that clock entirely, and we'll say that you did actually spot it. The well, you didn't spot it exactly, but you did spot that one of the sarcophagi, when you go to look back on the monitors, you see that it's opened to a large enough area that an entire body could have fit in or out of it.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Guess I can
Alright.
inform them via the telepathic
Yeah.
mind powers we have.
I assume we're all still in the same group.
Yeah, you're all in the same room together.
The
I
brain
think,
powers are so much more fun.
Yes, why bother talking if you're right next to someone and you can use your mind?
Someone could hear us, and then we'd be screwed.
Who is singing Cotton Eye Joe over and over and over again?
Sorry.
So do we want to do the cameras or the paperwork next?
If we find something in the paperwork, we know what to look for in the camera.
Yeah, true. All right, you gonna go for that? Who's leading that one?
I can. I still have
Okay.
a fair amount of willpower, and I have a pretty high study score.
Nice.
Yeah, just want to make sure I typed that correct. Partial success out of 5.
Okay.
Without a cost.
All right. You end up finding a lot of artifacts that you sort of put on your short list of, oh, these are the ones we should look at. And it isn't until you get near the bottom that you find a memo that says something about if they're stamped with this mark, it means that they've been moved. And so you end up losing a lot of those that you were that were on your short list. But you do still end up with 2 out of the shortlisted items. They are a sword that apparently was created in Persia. There's more information out in the museum itself, but and let's see for the other. It's a broom that its origins are Scotland, 1444. So, a Persian talwar and a ancient witch's broom.
I want that broom.
I literally sweep up the ashes.
I was like, yeah, maybe we just find a vacuum cleaner and take care of this whole business.
Just find ourselves a Henry Hoover.
The rooms all turn on at midnight, and it's fine.
Unleash the Roombas.
Have we found anything specific for this whole fun ash monster?
Well, the broom might help.
I like the broom. I say we practical magic it out the door.
A sword might be useful too, although whom among us would wield a sword?
For that group action, that is going to cost you only 1 willpower.
Okay.
And then for the second group action, who's rolling there and who's leading? Or no, that was both of them. No, we need to do the cameras.
Yeah, we need the cameras.
Who's leading the cameras one? Is that Yarrow?
It's Hollis and I.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll do it.
How is your willpower at the moment?
It's about half. It's like exactly halfway, so I can.
I'm about half as well. It might make more sense if I lead it.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah,
that
you've got
way we can use Master Planner.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And we're using a survey for that? Or study?
I assume survey. Study would
Okay.
be preferable, but
Yeah, I think survey, since there's what did we say, 32 times 4 cameras to watch.
Yeah.
at any rate, it differentiates this from the last group action.
Yeah.
Mine was a failure.
I got a 4, so a partial success.
Okay. So that's gonna cost at least 2 willpower, and then Master Planner can reduce that to 0. All right. And as far as a partial success, you spot some fallen bandages around a corner that look like they have come off of possibly one of the wandering corpses.
My God.
So not only are they walking around, they're naked.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Do we
And-
see either the broom or the sword?
Yeah, you see the broom.
Okay.
Well, you see both, but the sword is within the ash circle.
Ooh.
The broom, on the other hand, it's high up on a wall, but it seems like it's relatively accessible.
Okay.
It's
I'll
not
say-
surrounded by plexiglass.
I don't imagine the sprinklers are very good for any wandering corpses that have been lingering in a sarcophagus for thousands of years.
Yeah,
Can't imagine any moisture getting on that skin would end up well.
true. Good point.
We're going to have to deal with soggy mummies.
Maybe that's why you haven't had any visitors yet.
Well, since we know where the broom is, can I go to the broom and try to get it down with my telekinesis?
Yeah.
We should probably go as a group in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to do the actual beginning of the undertaking at this point and do that as a locate artifact?
Yeah.
Seems sensible.
All right.
Like Jason's gonna try and move his like shirt up like this to be like a gas mask.
Is there anything large and plastic-like in this room?
You're trying to shield yourself from the sprinklers.
Take one of the files and just.
Yeah, I think there's a little locker with parkas and some other like flashlights and things like that.
Ooh, flashlights.
Going to grab a parka to hold above my head.
Okay.
Goodness knows I'm not going to wear it. Ghastly.
I
But
was about to say.
All right. I'm going to make the engagement roll. All right. Mixed result. So, who all is going after the broom?
I would like to go after the room.
Is this going to be the whole group, or
I'll go if the
Three of you.
majority goes.
Yeah,
I feel like the
everybody's
sword isn't really an option at the moment.
I mean, it's already in the room with them, so seems like an end game kind of situation.
yeah?
Perhaps something to grab in the heat of the moment.
Okay. All right. Let me just quickly come up with the risky situation this is going to put you in, and then we
How
will.
screwed are we?
Risky, not the worst. It could have been desperate, but
But things can always get worse.
oh yeah.
Just remember that, kids. Things can always get worse.
See, it's a shame that we left the children with Quinn. They couldn't learn some importance.
Use them out. Use them like test dummies. You're like, just go forward. See what happens.
Make them little sentients.
All right. So, the risky situation that you end up in is that as you are walking through these sprinkler-soaked hallways and making your way to where this antique broom is located, you happen upon a corpse being dragged through the hallways. Another security guard's body, and you just catch sight of it as it is being pulled around a corner, and you can't see what it is that has it. It's being dragged by its feet.
Hmm.
So that is the risk.
With more genre solving, I would say we should leave.
Yeah, that's all.
What? Yeah, because I don't think there's much we can do about it. No,
Is it going in the direction that you need to go to get the broom?
It is going in the same direction as you.
We could run up against the wall and crouch down and just kind of peek really low and see if I can see what it is.
Okay. What do you want to use for that? Prowl survey?
Yeah, I'll do a prowl.
Okay.
Try to be sneaky.
Can I go with Hollis and like put like little octopus suction cups all over my arms and like climb along on the roof?
Yeah, sounds good.
We have a spider.
You want to
Oh yeah, that's true.
spend a willpower to give Hollis an assist?
Yep.
Okay. So that's +1 die. And I'm going to give you increased effect because both of you are so small. And you have multiple vantage
I
points.
rolled a 1.
Well, you're in a risky situation.
I rolled
you
2
rolled a 1.
ones.
Oh, wow. So you're going to get an experience point for that.
Oh, yay.
That was Prowl?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hollis
so you'll
is
get
just slipping along on the slippery floor.
Yeah.
I run too fast and I slide into the wall and bang really loud.
Yeah. A silver plate falls off a pedestal and lands nearby. And as that happens, you can see around the corner as well as can Seth in octopus form. Then you can see this what looks like 7, maybe 8 foot tall entity wearing mummy bandages that's has overlong limbs, is dragging the security guard by one leg. The other leg is like broken and going the opposite direction. And you see it turn toward Hollis and open its mouth way too big and scream, and you see bugs crawl out of its mouth and hit the floor, and then just get washed away by all the water. You also notice that the water that's coming down is making a nice gentle arc around it. It's not actually wetting the mummies.
We've got a magical force field to keep them dry.
You can from where you are, you can see that it has multiple what are likely magical charms on its person. So
I know we're probably gonna have to fight these people, but I feel like Hollis wants a massive undead best friend.
Let's see. I think that's gonna put it up to desperate. And this thing sees you.
Okay.
But it only sees Hollis currently.
Well, I'm going to very carefully pick up that plate that fell off of the wall and use it as a shield as necessary.
Okay.
In America's side.
Not gonna go for the ankles again.
Not those ankles.
Not those ankles.
Not the sort of thing you'd want in your mouth.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So, can I spring and try to bum rush this thing? If it has magical wards, can I try to physically just spring in the way while Hollis is trying to get away and just risk myself a little bit and see if I can
Mhm.
bum rush it with my horns?
Yeah, so you want to see if you can damage it?
Yeah, I would like to at least get it out of the way because I feel like we need to get to the room to deal with the ash.
Yeah.
I'm still in the hallway with Hollis. I could potentially just try to like reach down and chuck them, slide them
Or
along
you
the
just
wet floor, like
slide me.
yeah, like curl you down the hall to the rest of the group.
Don't tell the elves.
Okay.
Because I
Well, I
haven't
don't.
seen like Yarrow yet, but like I'm already right next to Hollis pretty much, so just wondering
Yeah.
if that works.
I don't think Hollis is in immediate danger. Like it's not actually moving toward her, but yeah, that can definitely be in your back pocket as something to do. Yeah, I'm gonna say spring would have reduced effect because you're gonna have to go down a hallway, turn in the wet hallway, and then go down further to get to it. So, although I think spring makes sense for using your horns, I think it's gonna have reduced effect. But yeah, if you want to try that.
Yeah, I'll try it. Let's see.
We'll see if it just ends up like that music video of the guy who slides in his underwear. Dun, 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 dun.
This is not
so-
risky business. This is desperate business.
Yeah, I was about to say, so since we're in desperate, do I put a D at the end?
No, you just do a regular action roll.
Okay. And let's see, since I have 2. Well, it's a success, so I slid around.
Okay.
Maybe I'll take in the process, maybe I'll take a spring in my ankle as the reduced effect.
No, no, you don't have to worry about that. When you roll a 6, you're good to go.
Okay.
So, but the reduced effect means that normally when you gore something with your horns, you do some pretty nasty, gnarly damage to him. The reduced effect is going to mean that either you're not able to get in very deep, or I think the way it actually is going to happen, though, is that you get close and you feel your head being twisted like you are so many raindrops being pushed away from this thing, but you still manage to land one of the horns in its leg. You feel beetles drop onto your head and crawl down you. And as this thing screams out again, and then reaches down and tries to grab you by the neck. But it's not an actual consequence, so it reaches for you and then you're just wet and stuff, so its hands slip off of you. But yeah, it's going for you.
Okay, so am I able to... Let's see. Well, since I was able to get so close, was there any information I can get from that while I was that close to him?
It's-
Besides...
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's-
smell.
Definitely being magically protected for sure. So yeah, that's something that you might have to deal with separately. And it doesn't seem to be reacting to being hurt in the way you would expect, like if it was living. Yeah, so that's definitely some information you're gaining.
I would definitely try to get away at this point, and try to get past it and
Okay.
see if it's... I did hear to see if it'll chase me the
Sure.
way that we're at least trying to go.
Yeah. So I'll just give that. What's that?
No, go ahead, Donnie. I just had a suggestion for after.
Okay. So as you step back and evade its grasp, it reaches back down, picks the security guard up by the leg, and double times it down the hallway away from you. Can't hear
Is
you.
that towards the broom or away? If it's going away from us.
You watch it go to a T intersection, and it takes the left-hand turn, and that is not the direction to the broom. So,
Well,
as far as you're aware, you should have smooth sailing from here on out.
well, that takes care of that.
For the time being.
Yeah, I guess we should try to make it to the broom then, and then let's go
Okay.
ahead and grab that while there's it seems to be clear.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you continue through the water and the flashing lights, and you make it into one of the side display areas that is Witches Through the Ages is the name of the fancy room. And you see sickles and brooms and a number of other witchy accoutrements. And you can see that broom up on the wall. It's kind of like the vibe of the like Wright Brothers plane in the Smithsonian. It's like up there as like, this is the broom. This is the one of the first known brooms that when the witches came out of the shadows. This was owned by one of the 3 women who made that proclamation, who made themselves known. So
I feel like this would be pretty powerful.
Yeah, we did come here to steal powerful artifacts.
yep. And it's
Are
hanging
there
about
any witches' hats about?
10 feet over your head.
So, can I go ahead and just try my telekinesis, see if I can like use my powers to bring it down?
Yeah.
And safely bring it down. That way we don't have to touch it directly and we can
Sure.
bring it to us and figure it out from there.
Yeah, I'm going to say, do you have lesser telekinesis as well?
Let's see.
It's a general power.
Yeah, no, I have lesser creation. So yeah, I do just have greater telekinesis.
Okay.
So I think I just add in what my focus is plus 1, correct?
I don't think you're going to need to roll. It's not like magically protected or anything like that. So it just, you snap a couple of the little pieces of line that are invisibly holding it up there to the ceiling, and you levitate the broom down to yourself. Yeah.
And are we able to tell, like, will this actually help us with the ash? we spent all this time to come get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's sweep it up at least.
Let's see. The best thing is if you had a you're a
I have psychometry.
yeah, and also I think Yarrow is a arcanist.
Yeah, I can sense the resonance of the item if I would like.
Yeah. So that's not generally going to give you a huge amount of information. It is I'll just give that to you. It is a powerful enchanted item. So it's definitely what you expected it to be, and it has very similar magic to the telekinesis on it. But yeah, I think psychometry might actually give you a lot more information.
Okay. I
So
can't
you're all standing here in the getting water, getting watered.
Actually, am I in with everybody else, or am I still in that hallway?
I thought everybody was going, but that's up to you.
Yeah, because if Hollis is no longer a threat there, then I guess I would have just gone with everybody else. No
Yeah.
point going up on myself.
The threat has extricated itself from the situation.
So I will expend an S and I can do psychometry. Can you please remind me how I roll for that or what I do for it?
Yeah, you can choose the action. I think we have been using study, if I remember right.
Okay.
But it's up to you, however you want to do it.
Study makes sense for me because study's also one of my
Focus.
higher points.
Okay.
So we'll do that. Oh, for Pete's sake, it's a failure out of 2.
Okay.
I should have
So,
done more power points.
okay, I think what that looks like is the witch that owned this left such a massive personal imprint on this item that it almost screams to you. It just you can feel it like burrow through your head. It feels worse than when Tina got a hold of you that previous time.
Should I be adding any harm for that? Like a level 1 like mental harm or something?
I think you're able to withdraw. Well, okay, we could do it one of two ways. You can withdraw and not gain any information, or you can take level 1 harm, and I'll give you a little bit of information.
Let's do that.
That's basically us taking it up from controlled to risky.
Mm-hmm.
If you want 2 pieces of information, we can take it all the way up to desperate, and you would take more damage, but you'd gain more information.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay.
I mean, I do have reckless as a trauma, so Seth is all or nothing.
All right. Do you want to try to resist some of that damage down? It's going to be level 3 harm.
Yeah, I can do resist. So what would I guess, insight?
I could see insight or resolve, yeah.
Okay. And that's exclamation mark, insight, and then R?
Yep.
Six.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome.
There we go.
So that's going to reduce it down to level 2 harm.
Okay.
We'll say
Wish.
yeah, you have like all the veins in your head look like they've like burnt out.
Okay.
But you're able to resist all of the like unearthly screaming in Scottish and actually start to see some of the life. You see this broom had very modest beginnings. It had already been passed down in their family for generations before it was ever enchanted. And it was the love for this broom and the ability to fly that is what instigated this witch to come out of the closet, as it were. So, yep, you see the joy of riding the broom at night, and then that turning into the will to expose witches to the mundane world. So, you also are able to get its activation word, and the fact that it is more than just a mere broom for riding. It also can be commanded to do various other things like telekinesis. So it's your sort of self-sweeping broom. It's your Roomba of the witch world.
It's a real Fantasia moment.
Mhm.
That's it. Truly, blows the Nimbus 2000 up the water.
Well, since we're all bonded, do we all know the activation word then?
If Seth is willing to share it.
Absolutely.
One day, no.
No, I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Well, it looks like we have a weapon to go in with. I don't want this to progress any further. I say we we kind of try to just jump in there and see what we can do with this thing.
Just throw the broom as like a javelin type object.
We'll just Stargirl it in and just right on top of it.
Well,
Wanna break this
undertaking
circle.
complete. Was one of the fastest undertakings ever.
Nice.
But you're still in here, and there's still a mummy running around.
And I am running on. I have 1 tick of essence left.
Also, is just
willpower.
kind of pocketing anything that is low enough and small enough to fit in her pockets. That's not like tied down.
Is there one of those quintessential black witches' hats about?
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Can I grab it and give it to Hollis? Because I think it will just smashing on.
Yeah,
It's in
I
like
think
the souvenir shops.
Yeah.
It's a fancy silver plate and a fancy hat.
Oh yeah, you still have the silver plate.
Yeah, that's
For-
going in my bag too.
Nice. Yeah, you can choose whatever witchy pieces of gear you want to grab from here, and then we'll roll on them later to find out if they have any hidden magical talents.
Yarrow sees a fancy cape that she can't help but grab as well.
Nice.
She loves capes.
I wonder if there's anything for me in this. I feel like I don't really know.
Yeah,
Probably just gonna like look around as we're going through. There's nothing to really defend himself with.
yeah.
Is there any
What about
jewelry
bragging?
about? I do love jewelry.
There is a baseball bat in here that, according to the plaque, claims to have been enchanted, and the reason why some baseball star was able to hit a certain amount of home runs, and it was retired to this museum. So,
I'll take it.
okay. Anything
Not a
else? for
sword,
you?
but it'll do.
There has to be some kind of jewelry about.
Jewelry?
I don't even
Oh,
care
absolutely.
if it's enchanted. I just want something nice.
Yeah.
I'll take
You-
the prettiest thing.
You find a multi-jeweled like necklace where the jewels themselves hang down about 3 inches on a lattice.
Perfect. I like wearing low-cut clothes. Or gowns, rather.
The central jewel is red.
It's like it was waiting there for me.
Seth, you want to take anything?
Is there anything small, like a witching stone, like those rocks that have the holes in the middle?
Ooh, a hagstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You actually find there's it is one of the few things in here that is separated off from everything else. So it's in a little domed piece of plexiglass, but there are hagstones from around the world.
Okay.
And yeah, so you find this grouping of 7 different colored and shaped hagstones.
Ooh.
Those
And,
are all coming with us.
The top lips right off.
Just tie a knot on the bottom of a piece of string and put them all on like coins.
Nice. All right. 7 hagstones.
7 sisters.
Feel like the Dothraki can eat their heart out. That's the way we're looting.
It is at this point you hear a very well-remembered scream Tina's scream
Oh no.
coming from the hallway that you did not go down.
Mm.
Well, we should probably go do something about that.
She's not dead, so that's a good sign.
Well, she might be now.
Not
She
yet.
wasn't.
Let's go check on Tina.
She's going to be reprimanded if she survives this. I mean, look at all the good things we've found already. She was supposed to be telling us about these things.
Think you
They,
can trust someone?
They're starting a change.org petition in our chat called Give Elise the Shinies.
It's for a
Once
noble
that gets
cause.
200 signatures.
Full magpie energy.
Yeah. All right. So, who's leading the charge into the main chamber where you heard the screaming come from?
I feel like I was successful once with charging in at this thing, so I can literally lead the way with the horns, and we can see if I slip or not while leading the way.
True.
Everybody going?
Well, yes. As tempted as I am to just stay here and keep taking things.
I know.
I don't know what purpose there is to try to save Tina, but we might as well do it.
Yeah.
I
Worth
wanna
it.
Still
hear how
haven't
she started.
forgiven him.
You're running out of pockets on your dress anyway.
I have pockets. I just
Alright.
slap this necklace over top of whatever necklace I'm already wearing. The pearls.
Alright. Rather than doing this as a group action, I'm going to just roll a fortune roll based on your 7th tier. Alright. You are coming in there risky again.
Ooh.
Yarrow comes around the corner, slipping a little bit, but keeping her horns above the ground, and comes around a corner and immediately nearly headbutts one of the guards.
Ooh.
And
Oh no,
he
did
is.
I get him?
No, you're. I mean, it's up to you. You wanna peg him or well?
Oh.
that could,
My goodness, that
right,
escalated.
Unrelated.
I was
the mixed
waiting for
result
it.
there.
It was bonus session. I was waiting for it.
Chucking the oil there.
Yeah, it is one of the security guards that you have not spotted previously.
Now, is he actually a security guard? That's the question, or is he parading as one?
So he's not carrying his radio, and he looks confused to see all of you traipsing through the area. He's a heavy-set guy. How tall are you as a satyr?
I mean, I think I'm only like satyrs are pretty short as it is, so I
You're
think I'm
a
like
little
5'4".
shorter than average.
You saying he's a heavy set,
Heavy
all I
set.
can think is Paul Bart, museum
I
cop.
was thinking the
Yeah,
same
sure.
thing. My
So yeah,
goodness.
you see his badge says
Better
Paul
than
on
Ben
it.
Stiller.
Yeah, so I think at most I probably just bounced off of him
Okay.
and
So,
then like
yeah.
slid on my butt.
Yeah,
He's that heavy set.
you see the radio, the part of the radio that he speaks into is still attached, but the cord is just dangling. So something must have knocked his radio off of him at some point.
Well,
He
it
just
doesn't
has
look
no
like
clue
he's
what's going
possessed,
on.
right?
That's not Tina.
Yeah, then you hear another scream. It's still a couple hallways away, and yeah, he's like, oh, that's are you responding to that?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing here, but I was
The worst
heading in.
security guard.
Yeah.
Figure
Want to
out
go
what.
do my job for me? Like,
Yeah.
I mumble something about special security or something like that.
Special ops security. You didn't know about us.
just flip your wallet open and close really quick and just move on.
It's not even a wall, it's just a flap of my white cape.
A fun-sized bag of Skittles pops out. All right, but yeah, he seems willing to go with you and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to have to play mean with him.
That's the little Skittles and a flip flap. We're on our way.
Yeah.
So I guess we should figure out what else is going on out here.
Let's
Well, I
find-
think we should head off to wherever Tina's screaming
Yeah.
from.
True.
All right. So you all semi-follow Paul around the next few corners until you make it into that large chamber. And it is mostly as you saw on camera, except a lot bloodier. And there are now a significant amount more body parts strewn around the place. It looks like the security guards that were pulled into the circle have been torn limb from limb and arranged. Their limbs have been arranged in what looks like a giant magical formula around the sarcophagi. And you notice that in the center of the room, inset into the ground, is a fourth sarcophagi that looks very, very royal.
These guys are just the minions.
And
So I hold up the broom real quick. Guys, we have a broom! Like such Jack Sparrow energy with a jar of dirt. Who wants to use the broom?
yeah, when you see that the rain is doing the same thing it was before around the mummy, it is doing around the entire area. It's just sort of like there's an umbrella preventing this entire area from getting wet.
Yeah, let's go sweep that ash circle into a million little tiny pieces.
The broom.
So that it's
look
not a
at you.
circle anymore.
Take some
wants-
body parts around, mess up their
Yeah.
circle.
Mess everything up.
Who wants to activate the artifact?
What will it cost to activate the artifact?
Probably a focus roll.
I can do it.
Probably.
I do not have the most focus.
We'll
I
just
can
make sure to
see.
put the hat on your head first, just so that you look as perfectly witchy as possible.
Alrighty. I'm gonna spend willpower and get another die.
Okay.
And that'll give me 4 dice to roll. Complete success.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. The broom darts out of your hand and makes a beeline straight for the ash circle, where it immediately starts wiping it away. You can see all the way down into the inlay in the floor, the marble floor. Beautiful, but it's what was already there. And as soon as the ash circle is broken, all 3 of the tops of the sarcophagi burst off, and 3 8-foot-tall, lanky mummies begin to emerge from the 3 sarcophagi around the outside.
That does not feel like I successed.
Well, the lids pop off and don't hit anybody.
It's something.
They successfully avoided our damage.
And then you hear a squealing noise coming from behind you, and you have just enough time to turn around to watch Paul pop like a slime-filled balloon
Oh no.
Ooh.
Old pop museum cop.
So, yep. He explodes into yellow ectoplasm.
Gross.
Disgusting.
And
But like in an aggressive Scottish voice, I'm assuming coming from the broom.
Where's that sword at?
so I'll
You
give
said it
that
was
one
in
to you.
here.
I'll give that one to you as a freebie. You look straight up, and you see that at the center of this circle, suspended above the central sarcophagus, is Tina with the sword through her stomach.
Oh.
Well,
And
better than
her
what I was
blood-
going to give her.
Her blood is dripping down onto the central sarcophagus.
We should probably move that.
Since the ash circle has been broken, witches may now pass. It was a ritual binding circle, so it has now been broken. That was what the complete success was.
Yeah.
Is that the artifact was able to break the spell.
Telekinesis that sword down? And Tina down?
How is she suspended? Is she just stabbed?
It's unclear. It could be telekinesis. It could be rope, but it's yeah, you're not really seeing any ropes holding her up.
So I guess let's focus on the sword if we have to leave Tina in the air. Sorry.
Yeah, we may have to, because again, I think I only have one essence, so I
shoot.
might be able to use my greater telekinesis one time.
Yeah, we're in desperate, and also don't forget you have the ability that lets you move essence between people. But you need to be in a controlled situation to do that without a focus roll.
Got plenty of essence to spare if you can focus roll it.
Let's see, I have 1 point focus. I can try. We can gamble a little bit, and I can attempt to telekinesis the both of the sword and Tina.
Yeah, if you pull Tina down, the sword should come with her. It's jabbed right through her stomach.
Yeah,
so.
it's right through. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so that should just be an action roll, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the goal is to remove her from the circle and the sword with her. Okay.
Yeah, I did fail with a 3.
Okay. Okay. Fail on a desperate. I think you are able to detach her from whatever it is that's holding her to the ceiling, but as soon as that happens, there's like a shockwave of magical energy, and she goes into free fall.
Am I able to resist that and
Yes.
use that resist roll to like catch her, I guess?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that sounds good.
And is that two? Is that 2 willpower?
No, it's a roll.
Just a roll. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that would be insight roll.
Okay, let's see. I have 3 in insight, so I should.
Nice.
That should be good. At a cost, 5.
Oh, 5 would be a 1 willpower cost.
Okay.
Okay. She goes free falling downward toward the central sarcophagus, which with that sword sticking in her would probably mean her instant death. So you reinforce your telekinesis, and she comes to a complete stop, but the sword comes flying out of her stomach, along with a big spray of blood, and it falls straight down into the center sarcophagus.
Oh no.
And that spray of blood you see hit the face on the sarcophagus, and the eye is open.
Well,
Whoever
so
was
we got
calling
them
for blood
down.
sacrifice in chat They're satiated now.
Yep.
I hate this.
Well, we got them down, but we seem to have sped up this process here.
So Tina is still hovering there. You'll need some more mojo to get her over to you, but she's at least not. She is not falling anymore. So somebody else want to take an action?
I was thinking I would try to freeze some of these guys in place with my Invoke Tartarus.
Okay.
Does seem like a safer option than fire.
Yeah.
The one closest to you right now is the one on your right. The one on your left is a significant distance away, so I think it would be probably one essence to do. It depends on what you're trying to do with ice, but probably 1 to 2 essence for the first one, and then the second one would probably be another 1 to 2 essence.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do 2 essence for this closest one and try to
Okay.
get him like up to his hips.
I think 2 would be his whole body for sure.
Okay. Cool, that's
one-
even better. I
one
just
would
don't want
be
him to
good.
like be able to pop parts of his body off and keep bothering us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend the 2 essence. It's gonna be a focus roll for me. She's
Okay.
going to drop to the floor, put her hands flat on the floor, do her chanting, and you will see like line of frost depending on how successful I am.
Yeah.
Critical success.
Nice.
Smash
Okay.
Wow, Dicebot likes me today.
Okay. So, yeah, you want to describe what happens
Yeah,
and
so
then
line of
decide?
frost just kind of leaves from her where her hands are, shoots over to the guy, and just completely encapsulates him into like a tomb of ice. And he is stuck. He can't move.
I think because of because of the charms, it does create like it almost bubbles around him, but the ice reaches in and still manages to get him, even though it's being like forced away from him.
Gotcha.
Deadly snow globe.
Yeah. So I would say normally the charm would have at least disrupted or weakened that, but as the bonus effect, if you'd like, it's just he is over and done with.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So that is one mummy gone. Who else wants to take an action?
Was this the center one? Was this?
No,
Or
this
the
was
three big
the
ones?
one closest to Hollis. So it was
Minion mummies.
there's one on the right, one on the that's taken care of now, one on your left, and then another one behind the big sarcophagus. And then you don't know what's in the big sarcophagus yet.
I guess I'll try and attack the other one then with the bat.
Okay. Well, in that case, trying to use a artifact that we haven't identified yet. So go ahead and make a 2-die fortune roll. So exclamation point.
2DF.
And we'll see if the bat activates or
Ooh.
Result 6.
a 6. Okay, great. So yeah, let's give you increased effect on this. And what do you want to use for your action roll?
Do,
I think Brawl or Spring make a lot of sense.
do Brawl.
Okay.
Please Brawl.
And do you want to get any extra dice on that? You can spend willpower.
I'll spend some willpower to get some more die. I only have 1.
Okay. 2 willpower will get you an extra die.
Alright, I'll get 2 willpower then. So now I have 2. I have partial success.
Okay. So you've got increased effect. So this is going to... I'm going to say... It's not going to take him out in one shot, but it's going to do some pretty significant damage. So you can decide what that looks like, and feel free to add the flair of whatever you want this bat to do as well.
I guess it's just more like Jason figures. It's just generally fight or flight time as he grabs this bat and feeling sort of surge of magical energy that it would probably give to hit some home run. He hits it into the mummy's head, but he kind of, as Jason is not an athletic human being, doesn't get the full front of it. It knocks him, and you see like sort of if it had any blood, it would be like spilling out or something.
Yeah.
Of where the head wound is, and possibly like cracking the mummy's face a little.
Yeah. Desiccated
Jaw
brain
probably like
matter.
loosely hanging out.
Nice. You see the other side of its jaw is still barely attached, and just bugs are sputtering out of its mouth as it screeches at you, and
I immediately regret my decision.
and reaches for you. All right. Who else wants to take an action?
Well, if it's gonna be reaching for him, then I would like to try to do something. Maybe shapeshift into a snake to kind of wrap around that arm, maybe pin it to its torso.
Okay. Sounds good.
I guess that would be a spring because I'm trying to jump in right
Sure.
away.
Yeah, desperate spring.
Okay. And for myself, I have to do 2 willpower, right? If I need an extra die. So I'll do that.
Or a fey bargain.
You know what? Let's make these interesting. Let's do a fey bargain instead.
Okay. I think that this mummy has a little bit of a rotting curse on it.
Oh.
And so that you dig in deep, and when you constrict it, the bugs start like burrowing into your scales. And
You got mites.
I got lotus plant arms.
and give you a they send a tiny little rotting curse over to you.
So like level 1 necrotic arms kind of thing?
It's not going to be any damage now.
Okay.
But it's going to stick with you a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
Mangled hands are going to get worse.
Oh, it's a failure. That didn't work.
Okay. So you're able to shapeshift and land on it, but you start squeezing, and parts of its body just start sort of falling off around you, and then you hit the floor, and it just reaches down and picks up the arm that you were wrapped around and just reattaches it over you, and I think it's also going to stomp you when you hit the ground. So actually, it's going to kick you down into the central pit.
Okay.
So you can resist that if you'd like.
If it kicks me, am I going to hit the snow globe?
You're gonna hit you're gonna fall into that central pit area where the main sarcophagus is.
Okay.
That we don't know what's down there yet.
I might just try a resist to see if I can either wiggle out of its way or maybe grab its foot before it gets momentum.
Yeah. So a prowess resist?
I think so. I think that makes the most sense.
Okay.
It's like a physical thing I'm trying to do. Just double checking I wrote that right. A 3. You reduce or resist the effects and spend 3 willpower.
Okay. How are you doing on willpower?
I've got 1 left.
Okay.
Goodness.
So, what do you want that to look like? You resist from falling into the pit.
I So it's just to resist from falling into the pit, or am I
Yeah.
resisting the kick?
Both.
So, because it was only a 3, I don't think I can get around his leg. So maybe I just kind of like roll over to the side a little bit, so maybe he hits part of me, but I don't get the full momentum.
Yeah. The tip of your tail slides in, but then you just...
Yeah, like I'm
bring
half
it
in,
back
half
out.
out. He just kind of like spun me around, like kicked the end of me.
Yep. Yep, you're in good striking stance there behind him now. And he just sort of kicked you off and then headed toward Josh. Or, toward Jason. So. Alright.
Is this happening in between where we entered and the pit?
Yeah, so the one that Hollis took out is the closest to you, near the pit. And then there's another one that Jason and Seth are near. And then the third one is much further back, behind the pit. So right now, the two that are closest to you, between you and the pit, are engaged.
I would like to advance on the pit then.
Okay.
Oh, I had a magnetic form. I could have used that. Shoot.
Yeah.
Better luck next time.
What does that do? That reduces the, that gives you extra dice?
Shapeshift quickly enough to resist a consequence from detection or... Oh, it's just security, so...
Or athletics, I think.
Or shapeshift to perform a supernatural feat of athletics or stealth. Okay, so yeah. Either it's a security thing, or I guess I can reduce a physical effect.
Yeah. Alright, so Elise heads toward the pit. You can see down into the pit, there's a beautiful gold and silver laden and blood laden sarcophagus down there that looks much nicer than the other three.
And there's a sword sticking out of it.
The sword did not stick in it. It just clattered off to the side. So yeah, you can see it sitting there off to the right.
Oh yeah, so am I still holding Tina up?
Yeah, you're still levitating Tina.
Is there any way I can gently move her off to the side and so I can help out in other ways maybe?
Just drop her, darling. She's worthless.
Well, in that case, can I toss her into the one that's behind the pit?
I think that would cost you an essence. But yeah.
Ooh, that would be my last one.
You can survive without. You can survive without essence. You just don't want to run out of willpower at the same time.
Okay, I think let's go ahead and do that then.
Okay. You can also continue to use powers even when you're out of essence. You just get consequences, magical consequences. So, yeah, that are automatic.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think I went ahead and just used Tina and just kind of like tossed her into the one that was furthest from us behind the pit, just because I think that's the only one not engaged.
What do you want to roll for that?
Would that be like a finesse?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Telekinetically
throwing a human.
Yeah.
Would
I need a
certainly
little bit
require a bit of finesse.
a little bit of style for that. Yeah. So I think that will be 2, correct? Yeah. They're partial success at a 4.
Okay. So I think you hear a snap with Tina. That is the end of her. So she has been finished off, but it hits the mummy hard enough that it knocks it completely off of its feet.
Hey.
Perhaps if she had been worth it, Dan, we would have made an effort to actually save her.
Well,
So.
at this point, Hollis can check her for information now.
True. Good point.
Might be a little easier than apparently she wasn't very good at telling us what artifacts we could have taken.
True. All right.
Yes, lots of RIPs to Tina.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to bring her remains back to the cup.
Yeah, she can be in my graveyard. My first
Ooh.
real body. Very exciting.
All right. The third mummy is trying to get back to its feet, and the second mummy is still coming for Jason.
Oh no. Yeah, I could try and fight it again. Don't know if it will work.
Yeah. Generally, you can only take a certain action once, so you would have to come up with
Yeah.
something else to do. But yeah,
It's still a bat.
yeah, it's still a bat.
Throw it.
True. I don't know if I would I could try and throwing it, but I don't have any
Finesse.
no finesse in that at all.
You could do a Fey bargain for +1 die.
Fine. I'll do a Fey bargain for +1 die, bringing my eye roll to 1.
So I think the bargain would be the spirit that's in the bat is going to be pissed off at you. So if you end up taking it back, you're going to have to do some sweet talking to get it to activate for you again.
Bold of you to assume I'm gonna pick it up again.
Yeah.
Only
That's
the
the-
best was for you.
That's the fun thing about Fey bargains. You don't have to follow through on them if you don't want to.
Bold of you to assume I'm going to use a weapon for a very long time. If it does good, I'll pick it up.
All right.
The one, not picking it up. It failed at 2.
Okay. So you hurl the bat, and it swats the bat away, and the bat flies down into the central pit as well.
I'm definitely not picking it up now.
Yeah. And then it juts out its extremely long, overlong arm and hand at you and tries to grab you by the throat. So that's going to require a resistance roll if you want to.
What do I roll for resistance?
Prowess.
Prowess. I'll try it. Partial success.
Okay. So that's 1 willpower that it costs. But you're able to wiggle free from its grasp. You have a definite desire to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. No, I'm not fucking with these mummies.
Curious, darling. Aren't you uniquely equipped for such a situation?
True, but that's resurrection. They're already technically resurrected.
It's true.
Do you have banishing or anything?
Actually, that I do.
Ah.
I can try and banish it, I guess, but it requires a focus.
You're
I'll
practically
try and-
touching it. You're practically touching it.
Yeah. Yes. Do I roll for banishing? I guess.
Yeah, it's a focus roll.
Might be better than hitting it with a baseball bat.
Well, I mean, he did good for me so the first time, and this works with the 6.
A 6? Okay. That reduces its tier by 3.
Ooh.
Which reduces its tier to 0. So the mummy completely falls apart into its component pieces, and you see black smoke rise up out of its mouth, and then just comes together into a ball and just blinks out of existence. And you can smell sulfur in the air
So
Ooh.
as it has headed back to the underworld.
Bye.
I guess like the way he started the banishment was like, I just brush up on like all the incantations I probably know. I think he probably was just doing that like while he was getting choked out, like.
So you're saying he
And,
didn't just grab one of the bandages and pull really hard?
Jason's not that smart.
His life flashed before his eyes, and he remembered everything he's ever read.
Hail Mary, and so he's just like holding his throat to like check and see if it's okay, but also like wiping whatever 1,000-year-old bacteria that's on it.
Yeah. All right. The third mummy has finally gotten up to its feet, and it raises its hands, and you see it has these extremely long claws that have torn through the bandages. And it stands up with its arms up about 10 feet in total height with its arms in the air. And its mouth rips open, like you hear the bones and tendons and whatever's left in its desiccated mouth tears open, and instead of exhaling bugs like you expect, it starts breathing inward, and everyone feels an intense pressure all over their body.
He's Kirby.
Yeah, he's Kirby. So this is going to require a resist from anybody who doesn't want to take level 2 harm blood drain.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna resist.
Yeah, I guess I'll resist.
That's a resolve resist.
Resolve.
Resist.
Oh,
Resolve to resist this.
Resolve.
Oh, I successfully got one.
With no willpower loss?
Oh, I didn't do the resistance part.
That's okay. What'd you roll?
It was a 6.
I spend no willpower to resist this.
A 6 is no willpower.
I
also
spend one.
spend no willpower.
I spend 1, so that means I'm maxed out. So
Okay, so trauma number 3 for you? Is that your third trauma? Or second?
I only have reckless written under
Okay.
traumas. I have 2 harms right now, but
Gotcha. Okay, so you're going to take a second trauma.
okay.
And the blood loss, apparent or something of that nature, is enough to take you out. As in, you are either unconscious or unable or unwilling to move.
Okay.
Did anyone else roll less than a 6?
Spent 1 willpower.
Okay, and you spent it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So everyone that successfully resisted, you only take level 1 harm, blood drain.
Blood what?
Level 1 harm, blood drained. So the blood vessels in your nose or ears burst, and the blood drains out of you and gets sucked through the air toward the final mummy.
Thomas, quick! Cast ice on it. A bunch of
And
shards flying in his direction.
As the blood goes flying toward him, he stops, and the blood all falls straight down onto the center sarcophagus.
We gotta get that sword.
I'm just going to jump in.
Okay.
Get in the pit.
It's not far enough down that you're in any real danger, but if you're also trying to grab the sword, everything's bloody down there. So yeah, I think you have it. You're just covered in blood now.
Well,
All right, yep.
anyhow. Everything I'm wearing is red. The fur is still be ruined.
So you have the Persian sword in your hand. It's got a 3-foot-long curved blade. Very ornate and pretty for a sword.
Swords are pretty.
And the blood that's all around you, you can see it being sucked into the sarcophagus.
Banish him again. I'm wasted.
So yeah, could use some help down here. Perhaps if we push this lid open quickly, we can end this before he fully comes to power.
True.
I don't know what gender this ancient horror is.
Not
No,
clear.
I don't want to check. I'm good not knowing.
What's under your bandages?
I don't know if those even.
I think the most I can offer is my brute force at this moment. So
Yeah.
I think
I'll
brute
come-
force is the solution at this point.
Yeah.
Fish strength.
Yeah, Seth is above the pit, and Seth is currently in giant python form. So
Just a big limp noodle right now.
Seth's tail could be a potential way out.
Is
Or
it
a
that
way
deep?
in.
Am I a slide? Am I a ramp? It's up to you.
We could just bring Seth back. Not actually, Seth. But I could astral possess your.
Alright guys, it's me!
That
I'm
leaves you
back.
unconscious.
No, astral possession doesn't do anything to me.
You're right. Possess Seth with the spirit of war. Continue fighting.
I don't know how much use we have for a giant python.
What don't we have use for?
I like the idea of jumping down in the hole and opening this box and
Just stabbing him.
yeah.
yeah, I do have big
I'm
horns.
rushing him before he gets up.
Yeah. Because I don't want him to get up. Because if he gets up, it's going to be bad times.
Well, my horns have proven to get them before. So is there enough room for me to able to just like spring and see if I can stab them?
Right now, that sarcophagus is completely closed, and it may weigh upwards of 300 pounds or so to remove that lid. It's really hard to tell, but the
We just
blood is
need-
definitely draining through it.
Yeah, we just need hands on the top to push.
I'm
Try
not
and
strong
push it.
enough to push 300 pounds myself.
No, I'm gonna
Elise
help.
is
I'm not
probably
gonna do it.
barely strong enough to push 100 pounds.
Was
Well,
it like a group
wait, let me check something.
finesse?
Oh, I was gonna say Seth could probably shapeshift into something big and strong, but So Seth, what does Seth look like right now? Like, what's going on?
I'm like one of those hog noses that get all upset and they go on their back and their mouths open.
You're not even stopped moving yet. You're still just going around in a
Yeah,
circle.
just like spinning in a
mouth
circle
hanging
on my
open.
back. Just being a dramatic crybaby. Oh, the pain. Oh, it hurts. Oh.
So the other mummy is still up there as well, and it's coming for you, y'all.
Make him move it.
Why don't I try to freeze that one while everybody else jumps in the hole to try to open the box? That way he can't, hopefully won't be able to bother us.
Do you want to try fire instead, since you've already done ice today?
No, I don't want to set the museum on fire.
Yeah, it's all marble.
Yeah, it's all marble. You're not gonna burn anything.
Okay, we gotta have fire.
We do have to have fire.
We can't
Plus
go an
one
episode without fire.
It is also a dried up corpse.
He
that
should
was sitting
burn
in a box
pretty
for
easily.
thousands of years.
That has been
Yeah.
specifically repelling all the water in the area.
Yeah, okay. Invoke
Just for you.
Tartarus. I'm gonna spend 2 essence for fire, and that should get us enough to burn him completely up.
Okay.
Let me mark my essence and do the roll.
Do the roar.
Do the roll.
The right.
Oh, I failed.
Okay. Let's see. Who do we think is closest? Well, no. It should be you that takes the result.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm not setting anybody else on fire.
Let's see. What could this be? We're in desperate. So these are usually pretty bad. I agree. I don't think there's anything else that's going to get set on fire, so I don't think that's the problem. Um, hmm. Anybody have an idea for a complication?
I mean, I can always
Yeah.
set parts of myself on fire.
Yeah.
Or it sets him on fire, but it doesn't actually take him down, so now he's just on fire and moving.
Running
Oh, yeah. I like that. Okay. Yeah, so apparently it has some kind of charm on it that lets it burn with hellfire, and yet without it actually taking any damage. So yeah, I like that a lot. And it reaches out while it's on fire and reaches for you and grabs a hold of your shoulder and picks you up off the ground. And the hellfire is just licking at your shoulder. And so yeah, you can resist that. You're going to take level 1 harm and be picked up off the ground. So you can resist either of those things. Or both. Or
I'm
neither.
going to resist the both of them.
Okay.
So
I think those would both, well, let's say if you resist one, it's kind of going to resist the other.
yeah.
So
So is that like a prowess resist?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's see if I don't trauma. I spent no willpower. I gotta
Nice.
Smashing.
All right, what does that look like? You get out of its grasp, but without taking fire damage.
I avoid its grasp altogether. I jump down into the pit with everybody else.
Ooh, okay. Yep, you tumble backward down into the pit, and you sort of your back slides against the back of the pit, and you come to rest right next to Elise down there in the bloody pit. As you watch the blood continue to get sucked up into the sarcophagus.
Well, it's on fire now.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna reach up and grab Seth's tail and pull her down into the hole so she doesn't get set on fire by the wandering mummy.
all right.
Say I grab Seth and use her as a club.
Two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll give that to Hollis as a freebie.
I'm like, oops.
You catch her, cradle her head, and bring her down there.
Wrap her around my
Aw.
shoulders.
Aw, like
No, it's
another
freaking
boa.
fabulous.
Selma,
All right.
get your heart out.
So 2 of you are still outside of the pit with the flaming mummy. That is-
I'm not even sure if I'm in.
Yarrow and
Well,
Jason.
I might as well join the pit party. I'll jump down in the pit. Well, I think we really need to try to somehow stop this blood from getting in the sarcophagus. So we, maybe we can all try to push the lid off.
All right.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that mummy do be walking though.
Jason, want to go down into the pit or see if you can take care of this last mummy?
I will try and distract the mummy. That it's like it gives you guys time just in case you do goof up.
You could try to banish it.
Again, yeah, I'll try and banish it again.
Yeah, that did pretty well last time.
Oh. I spent some willpower to get another die.
Yep.
I'll do that.
2 willpower gets you +1 die.
Yeah.
Or increased effect, your choice.
2 willpower gets me +1 die. I'll try that again.
Okay. You
So-
need a partial success to banish it. So 4 or 5. A 6 or a crit will work too, but
This is probably like the first time Jason's ever really done super magic.
mm-hmm.
It's the first time he's done magic in this campaign period. And a 6!
Complete
Yeah.
success.
Wow.
My goodness. Obviously, he works well under pressure.
So it walks right up to you while you're casting your spell and focuses only on you and opens its mouth again, and you feel all the pressure bubbling up in your body as your whole body is just like vibrating and feel like it's all the blood's gonna explode out of your body. And just as you feel like you can't take it any longer, the banishing works and the mummy just collapses to the ground like a corpse. And you can
Or
feel
just like... And like Jason's probably just... He's not even like at trauma level, but he's just like, this is probably the most he's exerted himself, so he's just probably gonna just sit and relax a bit.
yeah.
I mean,
All right.
some people would pay good money for that kind of experience.
Yeah, it's like full body cupping.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you're bruised head to toe now.
No.
And
One large bruise.
yeah. And but
First
yeah.
mission ever.
It hasn't even reached rock bottom yet.
Ah. You just hear him groaning.
All right. Let's see.
So we need to push this box open.
Yes. Is that like gonna be a group action?
Yeah, I think so. So we're all gonna get on one side and push.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brawl or Finesse, which one do you guys want to do?
I have the most in finesse.
As do I.
Cool. Let's do Finesse.
Who's leading?
I can lead since, I mean, I feel like I can probably get a good literal battering ram stance, and everybody else can push me.
Having speed.
So let's see. Can I spend 2 willpower and get an extra die on this as well and really see if we can... So
Yep,
that
you
will give
can
me
do
3 altogether.
willpower. You can do Fey bargains, anything you want.
I think the willpower.
Okay.
And then that will give me 3 altogether. And is that just a regular action roll?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Partial success out of 4. Well, I guess it's good I had an extra.
Yeah.
I rolled
Oh.
a failure.
Okay.
Alice slips
I
on the
also rolled a failure.
Okay.
So it's quite a good thing we did a group action.
It's
So that's
very
gonna cost
heavy.
you 3 willpower to lead that action.
Ooh.
Does that
Which
put
I
you
think that does trauma me out.
Okay. So, but it is a partial success, so you can narrate what happens or how you manage it, the 3 of you.
Well, I feel like as I'm pushing, where it's slowly inching back, and Hollis slips in the blood and falls back, and then I'm able to get it just a little bit more, and then Elise as well slips, so we're able to get it a little, like, partially open, not very far, and then at that point I have slipped as well. And I think I was using so much of my, like, physical exertion that I might have passed out a little bit.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's like
You
the
held your
force-
breath. You forgot to breathe.
Yeah, I forgot to breathe. The
Imagine
classic,
if, like-
lifter problems.
Imagine if like the sheer force just caused your horns to chip a little.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Character development.
Yeah, I've cracked a horn, and there's a slight blood vessel popped in my head, so I'm a little bit out of it at the moment.
All
Because
right.
at this point, I believe I am traumatized out. Then, correct?
Yeah. So you get to pick a trauma, and they'll have to drag you out of here.
You can officially make yourself reckless.
Yeah, I could be officially reckless or unstable. Since my horn cracked, it might have messed with my head a little bit.
Ooh.
Reckless is a fun one. I have that one already, and it's all kinds of hijinks.
Well, I feel like that was kind of reckless. So yeah, let's try reckless at first, and it'll just fit. It'll just fit right in anyway.
So,
Nothing changed.
Elise and Hollis, you are still in the pit. As the two of you slip back, you both look up and you watch Yarrow pretty much single-handedly there at the end, using her horns as leverage, tilts back the sarcophagus lid, and just as she slips, you see that it's just enough that the weight carries it over, and the lid falls off to the side. The whole room shakes. And all of you are on the floor except Jason, who is above the pit. So Jason is the only one that can see down into the pit and see what is there.
Alright, so what do I get when I look? How screwed are we?
You see an unimaginably handsome man staring back at you as the last of the blood just kind of slurps up into his mouth and then disappears, and he looks pristine.
Didn't even matter.
Like the day he died.
Well, what a time for Yarrow to be passed out.
Yeah.
Lord.
You see that he has tiny nubs of horns. They look like they are minotaur horns, but they're the smallest minotaur horns you've ever seen. And he's wearing jewelry all over his body and almost nothing else. Just a loincloth tied around his waist. And he opens his eyes, all three of them,
Ooh.
and looks up at you, and smiles.
Just like looking down, like, don't suppose you can go back to sleep or something. That'd be great.
Give me that sword. Give me the sword.
Handsome,
Ooh.
dashing, and spooky. What a combo.
I think Elise has the sword.
Yes. Do you have the sword? Do you want the sword, Hollis? You can have
Yeah,
the
I'm
sword.
gonna
You can have it.
brawl this sword into this guy while he's still laying down.
Okay. Okay. That's
I'm gonna-
a brawl roll?
Yeah, I need to.
As soon as it opens its eyes, you just chop its head off.
No!
Abort the storyline.
Why do I feel like this is going to be like the troll tea party thing all over again?
Can I guess a fey bargain to give me an extra die?
Okay. How about you're gonna lose the sword?
Okay,
The sword is gonna
have to
Get-
stay in there.
stuck to him.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
We don't even know what the sword does.
I have a partial success.
Okay. I rolled for the sword activates. So we
Okay,
will
good.
determine what that does. So you got a partial success on a desperate action. So so I think the intent was to cause as much physical harm to him as you could.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the sword strikes one of the jewels around his waist and shatters the jewel. It's
Oh, no.
on a belt.
Okay.
Shatters the jewel, then slides into his stomach from there. You feel like magical energy tingling through the area as some kind of artifact was just destroyed in the process. The sword sinks easily into his stomach, and he looks down, instantly terrified that he's going to be dead again. But he sort of watches he puts his hands up to like try to stop you, but fails. And then he looks down at the sword wound, expecting to be bleeding profusely.
Mm-hmm.
But you watch as the sword just works its way back out of the wound and then falls to the side. And
I'm just gonna ask him if he's Malachor. Are you Malachor?
Stabs him and then asks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Better to ask forgiveness than permission.
he tilts his head quizzically, like, who is that?
Oh, good. He speaks English.
No. He tilts his head as if to say, "What's?"
Okay.
But he doesn't actually speak. He doesn't speak English, and then he speaks in a language that you don't immediately understand as he rises and grabs the sword out of the wound. As you watch the wound close up in his stomach, no blood on it. And he proceeds to just rise up. Just starts rising up out of the thing into the air, taking the sword with him.
I try and banish him again.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna take another fucking willpower to do this.
Seth
gonna
has
work.
that bit of understanding if you want to attempt to try to talk to him again.
Oh, maybe if I do speak to the dead, I could understand him.
Yeah, you want to try to like jump up and see if you can grab his foot or something?
Sure.
Grab his toes.
Yeah. Speak to the dead through his toes. And you also want to banish him?
I can keep it in check, yeah. I'll do it. I'll take some stress to get the one to 2 die back.
But
Yeah, so 2 willpower will get you +1 die. And if you want to go ahead and roll your speak to the dead first. Now
That's
might
just a
be the only
focus
chance you
roll.
get.
Yeah, I'm just focused.
Okay. Oh, I just realized we went past 10, but we should be finished in just a moment.
I got a complete success.
Okay.
Hey!
And what'd you get?
I'm gonna roll for it. I was just
Oh, okay.
shoot. You might as well just do it since I will willpower. Jason probably figures that this thing is not good to come into this world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use all the rest of my willpower to get 2 extra die.
So you only have 2 left?
I used 2 willpower and I only have 2 willpower left.
Okay.
So if I use the second 2, I'll have +2 die.
You can only do that once.
Oh, well, then I will just use it just once. So I'll use it how I normally do.
Alright.
Alrighty. Yeah!
What'd you get? Crit or success?
Dang, he's holding out on us. He's been good at magic this whole time.
Alright. So that is going to reduce his... That's going to reduce his tier by 3, which is not enough to banish him completely. Anya, Hollis is able to get a hold of his toe, as he slips away, you have this long moment where you and him are communing, and we'll do that in downtime. as you're going to get a lot of information from him, but the banishing is enough that it forces him into a different form, and he slips out of your fingers as a blackish, as kind of a
Mist.
grayish smoke, and he just goes straight upward and exits the building.
Is he a beautiful vampire man that we get to keep?
That is for us to find out during downtime.
It's like one of us was able to get a little bit of the wrapping to tie him to us.
So you rolled a 6, so you're going to get to ask him 3 questions in this form, and that will probably help you guys locate him in the future should you ever decide to.
Okay.
So that
long
is
as
the
it's
end
not
of the
causing
undertaking.
Mayhem, it should be fine. He can go on about his business.
Imagine like Jason is super exhausted from the magic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know
Nothing.
what it would look like to be magicked out, but probably just
It might
fuck.
take him months to recover from that banishing,
The multiple banishing
because you brought him from tier 4 all the way down to tier 1.
Oh, damn.
If we could have kept him there for a minute, I might have been able to possess him.
Yeah, maybe.
New
Alright.
form of lease. Vampiric smoke.
At least just wants to be a handsome, sexy man.
Yeah, but I do
Oh,
like
yeah.
having them under my control.
All right. So that was the end of the undertaking. Are you all just going to head back to your island to do downtime?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're gonna take our incapacitated friends home.
Someone's gonna have to drag me home.
Won't
Just
be
like
me.
bring your
Any
drunk
of
friends
the,
home on the subway.
Oh, it's like my mid-20s all over again.
Did any of the other banished mummies drop any of those charms when they went?
yeah, can
Ooh.
you roll a 2 dice
Hero.
fortune roll?
That's 2F.
2, yeah. Okay.
Mixed result with a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you get 2 charms, and one of them turns out to be lacking in any magical energy. It's just pretty.
I'll give it to a safe.
But the other one does work, and we can determine what that is.
Smashing.
Cool.
I just realized what using the banishment spell must look like, and that's from it's from the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. There's like a guy who can use curse speech, but if he uses it too much, just blood just comes out from his mouth because it's just tearing his vocal cords.
Yeah.
Probably that.
Who
It's
knows?
disappointed. I was kind of hoping to
Otsunamai.
mummy just stab me. I was going to try to threefold curse him.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Ooh, that would have been good.
rest in pepperoni.
Yes, I'll take a level 3 harm, and you'll take a level 9.
Yep. Threefold curse is
It's a good
significant.
one.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the opportunity to actually take some harm in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
That's why I got a bit reckless there.
So everyone who traumaed out, once you recover at the Covenstead, you recover all willpower, all essence, and all harm. So you get a full heal.
Now, while I'm fully healing, am I able to recharge that rod that I had made? Since I have recharge enchantments? Or that's only during drawing down of the moon?
You do lose your you lose your downtime and you lose drawing down the moon.
That's right.
So the other 3 of you that are still conscious, you all get to draw down the
Somehow.
moon. Whoever wants to do that.
Well, maybe we should wrap things up because I don't think people are like super interested in watching us do downtime. But
Welcome to the downtime stream.
Oh, did anyone want to bury Tina?
I was only going to do drawing down the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, so speaking of drawing down the moon, I was reading over my powers because I don't do that very often and I forget everything. Which one is it? Well, now I can't find it.
Next couple of days, Jason just doesn't even talk. He just has like a fucking
Just a
board.
Just a
Catatonic.
9-yard stare.
Oh, it says I gain 1 die when using a restore essence downtime action from a place of power related to the underworld. So
Which-
if I do drawing down the moon for everybody in my graveyard, do I get to do 1 extra die for that roll for everybody?
No, restore essence is a separate action.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to roll that?
Sure,
Okay.
I can do. It's 2 dice now?
Yeah, 2 exclamation point 2 DDTM.
Ooh, got a 6.
Smashing.
Nice. So that
Desperately needed.
Mm-hmm.
it should tell you what that is, but it's 6 essence and 3 willpower to each member.
Yes.
My goodness, and here I thought I was
Do we
going to draw my
recover
out.
3
Now I'm
willpower?
Yep.
What were you gonna say? I apologize for interrupting.
Oh
I
no.
was just going to say I'm almost healed already.
All right. And we'll handle downtime off stream. But yeah. Awesome job, everyone. Unlocked a new person that you'll be interacting with in the future.
I hope they're not too mad.
Hope they're not too Malachor.
I guess we
Yeah.
can remove Tina as a contact now.
Yeah,
Well, I can bring her
You
back.
can resurrect her.
That's
yes.
true.
We're bringing her body home.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
Not
forgot.
going to. But
I did forget to mention, as he was rising up and speaking the language that you're not entirely sure about, and but right before he vanished, his eyes flashed to what you remember the animatronic that was housing Malachor color, and then back, and then he vanished. So apparently he is Malachor, but maybe not entirely.
like a Horcrux of Melon. It's like an essence.
So, with that, we will bid everyone farewell. Let's go back around the room and everybody can plug their current projects before we go. We want to start with Joshua.
Got nothing. Be kind to each other. That's about it.
Aren't you about to be hopefully running a game?
Yeah, like not for a stream. I'm gonna try running City of Mist. Yeah. Project wise, not much. Just trying to get ahead and do some voice acting stuff. But other than that, it's just working on mental health, which everyone should do.
Nice. All right, Anya.
Yeah, I guess all the things that I have to plug are Balsamic Moon Games related. We have a shop now where you can get merch, and we have a Patreon that you can visit. And in our shop, there is Patreon, or was it stream subscriber merch that you can get that's specific just for subscribers to this channel.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out.
Nightsky Sanctum is a coven that anyone can play in the Children of Midnight Quickstart. But our version of Nightsky Sanctum has become very different than the book version of Nightsky Sanctum. So the book version of Nightsky Sanctum has a coven sigil, and then our version of Nightsky Sanctum has its own coven sigil. So we have special merch that's specific to our version of Nightsky Sanctum. So, and that's available on hoodies, and they look gorgeous. And so, yeah. So, and we have the brand new character sheets out. So check those out. Those are available at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. And going through to the next is Morningstar.
me. Well, I just have the usual to plug, and that's my photography work. We have something new every Friday. And you can find that at the underscore Cytherian on Instagram or Twitter, and the Cytherian on Facebook, but unfortunately at the moment, that is a little bit tenuous. So, the others are better.
There's still quite an awesome backlog of stuff. If you aren't already following the Cytherian on Facebook, you'll find 1,000,001 amazing photos there. Lilith?
Yes, thanks to Livers.
I'm the photographer and editor for Morningstar and the Cytherian content, so all the links that were stated previous, just go on over there.
Azalwin?
And you can find me literally anywhere at Azalwin or Azalwin Art if the first one doesn't have any content under it. And you can find me here on Tuesdays as Yarrow. But pretty much I'm just creating art and, as Josh said, mental health and taking care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Yep. And also stick around for the credits scene that will play after this. That has everyone's social media handles there as well, and links to our Patreon and merch store and everything. So we hope you all had a good time. We had an awesome time. And we will see you next week for session 14. Have a good one.
On to it.